Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have a special guest today. I have Alex from the Devil's Advocate Productions. You can find his show on Twitch, on YouTube. I'm going to leave links for everybody down in the description box below so you can go check him out. But he's also a fellow host. I was going to say co-host, but a fellow host over on This Space TV, which I've shared with everyone before. If you are not subscribed over there, please head over there on YouTube, This Space TV. It's a collective of progressive voices. And so we've all come together to try to help build up this side of the Democratic Party and share information that, how to help working class people and the working poor in America. So welcome, Alex. Really excited for this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited as well.
Yeah, my pleasure. So for my audience, what Alex and I decided to talk about, because his show is kind of, has a political bent, but it's more, about like TV, movies, just the culture, what's going on, pop culture and so forth. Or maybe you can explain it better, Alex.
Yeah, I talk about movies, TV, music, video games, whatever I want to talk about on my channel. When it comes to the YouTube, it is mostly like trailer reactions, movie reviews, video game reviews, video game trailer reactions, lots of reactions, album reactions. I just did Tyler, the Creator, came out with an album on Monday. It was the first time I ever listened to him, and I loved it. He just announced that there's a show in Brooklyn tonight, and I can't go because I'm working. So, man, that would have been really fun. But
Yeah.
I talk about, pop culture stuff on my channel. And while I talk about that stuff, if it comes up in the course of discussing a particular piece of media, I will give my political thoughts on this. Like, for example, I reviewed the show Andor, which is fantastic. You should watch it if you haven't. And there's a point in it where they bring up genocide. And so I'm like, well, obviously there are real world analogies to this. And I talked about it. Like, I don't shy away from those things in my videos. That's kind of the only difference. Like, I've seen other reviewers say, yes, these are clearly tied to real world things and events, and I'm not going to get into it. I will get into it.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. So today I brought Alex on to talk about a topic that has kind of been a hot topic for a while now. And it's kind of, in my mind, bubbling up again based on the Mehdi Hassan Jubilee videos that have been going around. In my mind, like, there were a lot of incels there that day.
Oh, yes.
on the right. So you just look at some of those guys and you go, yeah, you are involuntarily celibate.
Yeah.
We just know it. You don't even have to ask. You don't have to offer it.
And here's the thing. I understand those people like that. Before there was a word, I mean, I'm serious. Before there was a word for it, that's what I was growing up. I was angry.
Yeah.
I was mad at the world.
Really?
And yeah, a lot of it had to do with the fact that I couldn't get a girlfriend. And I understand how that anger can then be capitalized on by the right wing and say, hey, you're feeling angry, you're feeling lonely. I'll tell you why it is. I'll feed that delusion. And that is what they do. And then you end up with, the people who are on the surrounded with Mehdi.
Yeah. I mean, well, because in general, you would think, like, people as a general rule, human nature, you don't want to blame yourself.
Right.
You don't want to blame anything you're doing, take any responsibility, which is hysterical to me that we find so many of these guys on the right because they're the quote unquote party of personal responsibility.
Yeah.
But yet, nothing is ever their fault, including why women don't like them.
Yeah. No, they really can't wrap their minds around. Maybe I'm acting off-putting, because a lot of them in their brain, I'm the nice guy. These girls,
Mhm.
they're only going out with assholes. So I listen to them. I'm the shoulder to cry on. Why don't they want to date me? And
Mhm.
maybe it's you're not realizing that you're actually projecting. You're projecting
Mhm.
your insecurities. You're outwardly looking angry or sad all the time, and they don't want to
Mhm.
approach you, but they will, talk to you and be the shoulder for them to cry on. But inside, you're broiling with anger, and they can feel that.
Yeah.
Other people can feel that resentment and anger
Yeah.
inside you, and might not want to date you because of it.
Yeah. And I think it affects every other area of your life.
Hmm.
I'm a big believer in the power of attraction, and what you're putting out into the universe is going to come back to you. I'm living proof of that. I mean, because of my childhood, which I've talked about on my show before, grew up in a very violent household, with a father who literally threatened to kill us in our sleep, was,
Gosh.
beating my mom. You grow up terrified and angry, and like I had to protect her at points and times. So yeah, when I got older, I was putting that out to the world and wondering why are people angry at me? Why are, oh, these people are being shitty to me, and constantly looking for that fight. And so when you change you change how the world reacts to you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I not the same situation, but I grew up with my parents, and my mother was very verbally abusive. My
mm,
dad not helping in
yeah,
mitigating that, and so yeah, I go out into the world looking for fights, not necessarily, but like ready,
with a
always
chip on your
with a
shoulder.
chip on your shoulder,
Yeah,
ready to react and ready to give it back to whoever you think is giving it
right.
to you.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'll produce some angry people, and
Mm-hmm.
do some self-healing, do some self-reflection, and be
Yeah.
open to self-awareness and self-reflection, which is
Yeah.
a key point that I think a lot of these people are missing. They're just not open to that. Maybe not
Mm-hmm.
yet, or maybe not ever, but I think that's a big portion of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wanted to show my audience one of the reasons we're talking about this is because there's been all this talk lately about the male loneliness epidemic, but what we're seeing is these people are trying to find the answers in the wrong places, and so, for example, I'll bring this up. Let me see if I have the right setup here. So this was the right stuff. This was talked about a while back, but it's still out there. It's still still a website. And this website failed. And for anybody watching who doesn't know what this is, the right stuff was a right wing dating app that was created by a Donald Trump employee, a
Mhm.
guy named John McEntee, and he, as with so many other Trump people, had to leave the first administration because of scandals that were exposed. But McKenty started this right wing dating app because he said, "Oh, you have to be able to filter out the libs, and these are the people that share your values." So I want to play for everybody the clip. This is just, I mean, it's hysterical for multiple reasons, which we can discuss. But I want to play the promo video for this dating app. This
Oh,
is
this
just
is
a
so
part of
funny.
it.
Looking for in a partner.
They just have to be a conservative.
Definitely someone that wants to have kids.
I like an independent man. Personally, I like the alpha male vibe.
I want a man who really loves his family.
Definitely someone whose faith is important to them.
For me, it's someone who actually wants to meet my parents.
Why do you want to date a conservative?
For me, at least I know that we're gonna start off with some shared values.
Well, the conservative men I've dated at least know how to treat me like a woman.
In my personal experience, conservative guys have better manners.
I like that they understand their role in the relationship as a man.
I just prefer my men to be masculine.
Oh my God.
I remember
mean,
this. I think it came out that most of these women were actresses hired
well,
to
yeah,
be
I
in
mean,
this
that's the
commercial.
worst acting I've ever seen. Like, not everybody can act, but bad acting when you see
Yeah,
it. And these are, there was only maybe one out of all of them that was like somewhat
the
believable.
girl with the
The
cheetah
rest,
print was really giving it her all
yeah, yeah. I
to
mean,
convince you that she was a real person on the right stuff.
yeah, and
Um,
that's how they sold it. They were like, "Oh, we brought in real women to tell us what they want." And it's like, "Oh, come on. Could you not have brought in better actresses? Like
You know
they
what's funny?
couldn't
I just me and my wife just finished watching the Ashley Madison Netflix documentary,
Oh,
and
I didn't even know that was a thing. I got to go watch
it's
that.
3 parts. You'll love it. It's great.
Okay.
Um, and it's interesting because one of the things they focused on early on, which is the same thing advertised here, is we
Mm,
have women here. Please, we have
yeah.
women here, folks. Come and join this site because they know men are always going to sign up for these
Yeah.
kind of things. Men are there right on day one. It's the
Yeah.
women they got to convince. Hey, this
Yeah.
is a safe place for you. You're going to find some
Mhm.
good people on here. It's a good opportunity for women out there to meet a traditional man or a conservative man or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Ashley Madison, of course, that was for cheaters and
Cheating
people
site.
who
Yeah.
wanted to have affairs. So obviously men are going to sign up right away.
Mhm.
But the women, it was revealed in the documentary, spoilers, that a lot of them were bots. And so you were
Mm.
just, if you were a man on this site, you have to pay monthly to be able to chat with anybody. And then
Uh-huh.
what's revealed is you were probably chatting with a bot that
Oh,
had no intention of
Jesus.
ever meeting you.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
guessing that's going to be revealed with the right stuff because they love their tech bros and bot accounts. And I would not be surprised at all if they were like, yeah, we'll just get it. We'll get some bots initially, and then women will, of
Mhm.
course, sign up, and we'll just phase out the bots. But
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, because that was the big scandal is that all these guys were signing up and then there were no women. That's
Yeah,
why it was such a failure is because there were just no women on the site. And it's like, oh, what do you know? Women, real women, don't want to date a guy who acts like Andrew Tate, who I
yeah,
call Andrew Taint. I mean, it's just like, oh, you don't want to date an asshole who is going to, demean you and maybe beat you or maybe
yeah.
even assault you. I mean,
And like
what
espouses
a
that those are
shock.
good values to have as a man. Like you should be your woman. You should have them in the kitchen. Like I,
Yeah.
I don't understand because
Yeah.
I don't even understand how some of these conservatives are married, like Charlie Kirk or Matt Walsh. Like who are these
I
women
know.
who I don't know. Maybe they
Yeah.
find them at the beauty pageants that Trump owns.
Yeah, I know. No, I guarantee if I don't know this for a fact, but I would suspect if you did an analysis of the women who are married to these types of men, either the men are putting on a show and they're not this way at home.
Yeah.
They're not the alpha males. And I mean, come on. These women, oh, I just like an alpha male. Really? Like Donald Trump
Yeah.
doing his YMCA dance? Yeah, such an alpha male, isn't he?
But also
Doing his,
or
huh,
like you said, they're either putting on an act. So when they go on camera and they're like, "Yeah, I don't even know how to do laundry. My wife does it." Like Matt Walsh does this,
yeah.
and then he goes home and she's in charge,
Yeah,
and he's like,
yeah,
"Oh, I'm
either
sorry, honey.
that,
I
and
just
they're
got to
they're
say
getting
that for the
pegged.
camera." Yeah,
They're getting
right.
pegged in the
Or
bedroom.
and we
Or
don't kink shame.
or
But
these women are
or
doormats
yes,
who grew up in abusive families and don't have any self-esteem and are just wimps, and yeah, they like being treated like crap because that's all they've ever known and they don't think they deserve any better.
yeah. There's another. Speaking of Netflix, there's another documentary about the Duggar family.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and like I think it was like 16 kids and counting or something like that.
Yeah, something weird.
And
Yeah.
they were all part of this church, this cult
Mm-hmm.
that I think it's called Opus Dei. The express purpose was to get members of their church into positions of power in the government, in corporate world, on television. So that's why they even made that show in the first place. They got this family to go viral. The women in the family were like, the things they say are very, I'm a cult member and I don't know it. And it's sad to see. It's scary. But I think a lot of these women are, they just don't know any better. They don't know that they can live outside of this because they're always threatened. I mean, like any cult, you're threatened with excommunication from family and friends, from the only world you've ever known. You have no financial holdings and can't escape. And it's, you know, they hold you hostage since the day you're born. And it's very, very scary. Or you get women who are misogynists themselves.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a couple people from 90 Day Fiance, Shakina, Tiger Lily, Amani. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But these are people who not only will date men who are very Andrew Tate-like and like the Giga Chad kind of aesthetic, but when that guy starts treating them like crap, you know, they'll fight within their own relationship with each other and be like, don't talk to me like that or whatever. But as soon as it's a family member or friends or anybody from the outside world, they are constantly defending their man.
Yeah.
Like against, even when the man is literally calling them names in front of these people. They're like, no, he's just having a bad day, or you just said something that triggered him, or go to the ends of the earth for these men who would not lift a finger to help.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing with Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how much he shits on them, no matter how much he betrays them, you know, it's, I mean, it is I see it like exactly the way I see abusive relationships. It's the same language that a lot of abused women, mostly women, but some men will use. You don't know him the way that I do.
Yeah.
Well, if you really understood him, if you really knew who he was, he's not like this all the time. You know, you just don't get it. I mean, it's exactly that.
Yeah, it's very, and then, you know, he'll say things like, look what you made me do, is one that I hear Emma on the Majority Report say a lot. Like, this is, look what you made me do. You made me turn Nazi.
Yeah.
You pushed me towards fascism.
Yeah.
Even though
it's that gaslighting.
It's
always the victim's fault. Yeah. And in this case, the victim is America. The victim is all of us collectively.
And we are just trying to bear through it and get through these 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, hopefully we hear that he's sick, so maybe he drops sooner, but, you know.
I know. Yeah. I was like,
do you remember when he got
crossed.
COVID in 2020?
Uh-huh.
And we're all just like, our fingers crossed, like, oh, please, this would be so funny.
I know. Yeah. And I like how they're downplaying too what he has.
Yeah.
It's
They
like,
changed the language.
yeah, getting blood and oxygen to your heart and your brain, kind of an important thing. Like, oh, it's normal. This is like, I get that there's a lot of people out there who have it, but I would think, and I would hope that most of them would take the steps necessary, like working out and starting to eat right. We know Trump isn't going to do any of that. I mean, he was born with a silver spoon up his ass. Yeah. He's a total Nepo baby. And he believes that exercise is actually wasting energy. Like he's said that before. He said he thinks that there's like a finite amount of energy you have every day. And if you work out, you won't have enough for everything else, which is the complete and total opposite of what has been scientifically proven. Like when you work out, you have more energy.
He also said McDonald's is healthy because the food can last such a long time. Or whatever. He's like a germaphobe, so he thinks it's the cleanest food to eat for some reason. Now, I wish that were the case. I love McDonald's, but I know it's not good for me when I eat it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, not a lot going on in that brain of his, but
And then the whole Epstein, that's the thing I'm interested to find out. This Epstein cover up that he's doing. You know,
mhm,
Democrats really haven't talked about the Epstein case in a while. I think that was a mistake. I think they should
yeah,
have kept bringing it up all the time.
yeah,
Obviously, they don't want to implicate their own, like
yeah,
Clinton and whatnot, which I say toss them out with everybody else.
mhm,
But
yeah, I don't
I,
care who it is.
I hear a lot of talk like, oh, this is going to be the thing that breaks the camel's back. A lot of his base was like all in on the Epstein stuff. So the fact
Mhm,
that, we see some of the podcast bros changing their tunes a
yeah,
little bit. And I'm still like, I'll wait and see because I've seen them cover for him on other crazy stuff. So
yeah,
like we'll see if they have an excuse. Oh, actually, he's really gonna take everybody out. He's just waiting for the right
yeah.
moment. Again, abused
Yeah, I
language.
mean that's total bullshit. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen any of my content, but I have a full Epstein and Maxwell list
Oh,
playlist on my website, on my YouTube channel, because that was one of the things I started with on YouTube. I have been on this for literally the whole time I've been on YouTube, because it does cross party lines. I fully believe that.
yeah,
We know from video evidence we have Epstein with Bill Clinton, we have Epstein with Trump a lot. We have, all other people, Bill Gates. I mean, he's admitted
yeah,
it was part of the reason for his, one of probably the final nail in the coffin for his divorce,
yeah,
you know. But yeah, I mean, it was people from across the political spectrum that were involved with this guy, and it was kind of like the known or known secret that they just didn't talk about. Like
yeah.
everybody would say, "Oh yeah, see him with all these young girls," and it's like you don't question that. Why this middle-aged man is hanging out with teenage girls?
Yeah.
You
And you can't
know?
even explain, like, I've never even heard a good explanation of how he got that much money or access to these people with influence and money.
Yeah,
Like,
I
who
mean that
was
that
he?
tells you
A teacher
everything. I mean,
or some
Leon
shit?
Black left him hundreds of millions of dollars. Leon Black gave him, and there's never been an explanation for it. Nobody has ever said like they aren't related. They're,
That's super weird, man.
like they had no they had business dealings, but Leon Black was even on record saying that the financial advice that he got from Epstein, it was anything anyone could have found on the internet. Like
Right.
it was just readily available information that anybody could have picked up a book or picked up a news article or picked up, or gone on Google and found. So it wasn't like the guy was some genius.
Right. No, it is super weird. I mean, the conspiracies about rich people being like the Illuminati and
Yeah, I mean
Bilderberg
that's
meetings and stuff like that has been going on for decades.
yeah.
Um, but the fact that like this broke and it was like, no, 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 there really was a guy running an illegal sex trafficking ring, and all these famous people were involved, and then it just his partner's in jail. He died.
Mhm.
I mean, he did
Mhm.
die, but like
Yeah.
he killed
Yeah.
himself,
With the
and
the
then
cameras just happened to not be
oh my
working
god,
at that time.
that
The
Wired
guards
article,
just happened to be asleep,
that Wired article about the
the
camera, the lapse in time, and you can
yeah,
see Adobe Premiere markers
right.
in the metadata. I'm like, yo,
Right.
you use
Yeah.
Premiere to do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And you have, two of the world's preeminent physicians looking at him and saying, we can't say for sure this was a suicide because it appears to be a homicide.
right.
And how, I've always questioned, like, how could you possibly take your life with a bed sheet off of the side of a bunk bed? Like, I've
Yeah.
had bunk beds in my house. They're not that high. And this
You
is a
can
grown man.
you
Like, I could
can't
understand a child because
yeah.
they're short. obviously, but a grown man of 6 feet or whatever, close to 6 feet
And
that he
also,
was.
try strangling
Seriously.
yourself. Like it doesn't last that long. You can't. Your body won't
Yeah.
let you do that. So
Yeah.
if you're trying to hang yourself from something where you can just stand up and fix it, like you won't be able to.
Yeah. And someone from another cell said they heard screaming, which is like, do you scream when you're trying to off yourself?
Yeah,
No,
especially when
no,
it
don't
goes
do
around
it.
your neck.
Yes, do it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like when you have a split personality. Like,
I mean,
get
that's
her,
wild. It's
get her.
wild.
No, don't. Yeah, get her, Gina. Like what? What?
It's wild. I am interested to see what the base does. Again, some of these podcast bros, Rogan, Theo Vaughn, Andrew Schultz, who I actually happen to know personally,
Yeah.
or have in the past, because I was friends with his little brother, are turning, and Sagar and Jetty was just on with
Yeah.
Andrew Schultz, kind of taking him to task and being like, "Hey, man, with the Trump interview, do you wish you had asked some different questions or, done anything to prepare?" But no, they don't, because that's why this administration in particular is enjoying going on podcasts, because they're comedians. They're just looking for clicks, and which, I get it. I am too, but I'm also not purporting to interview like statesmen.
Right.
I'm not interviewing
Yeah.
the candidate for the next president. And if I was, I would prepare. I would try. I would push back a little on something. I would, even if it was someone I really liked, I would try to find at least one thing to push them on, so it doesn't look like I'm just there glazing them the whole time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like that Nelk Boys interview that they just did with Bibi Netanyahu. I mean, they just let him steamroll through the whole thing, make excuse after excuse, blame oh, yeah, the aid's not getting to the Palestinians because Hamas is stealing it. No, this has been proven that that is not the case. There's video evidence of your soldiers firing on starving people for no reason. Like, if I had him on, I would absolutely be calling his bluff,
And that's why he won't go on
throwing
your
the
show.
bullshit flag.
Well, and is this the first interview Netanyahu has done since this all started? I know he's given speeches and stuff, but like,
I think he's given other interviews, but only to other friendly
very
outlets.
friendly,
And he specifically said to them, I'm here because I want to reach young people.
yeah.
So that was his purpose in doing it, because he knows they have a young audience and it's going to get a lot of play. And so he was there to spin, and they did no prep. You could tell absolutely they had nothing. They had no substance, nothing to refute him on, no facts to come back at him on. And rightfully, they took a lot of shit, even from their own audience and people on the left and the right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like,
Yeah, I think by now, well, you can even tell this a couple months after October 7th, but just the fact that we have social media now and we can see these images in real time as they're happening. Like, I think back to when I was younger and the Iraq War was starting and Afghanistan was starting, and Bush was very purposeful in saying, like, we don't want cameras. We don't want a repeat of Vietnam, because people saw those images and they immediately turned. Public sentiment turned. There was protests. So we don't want that again. We're going to purposefully not allow journalists or camera people into these war zones. And I think if social media was like it is now, then those war, like, the protests would have been bigger. It would have been more sustained.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have ended it sooner.
It would have been throughout the world instead of, just us. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And so
social
I think,
media has changed
people
so
seeing
much.
these images cause, even, people, Ben Shapiro was just talking about the Superman movie, and there's an Israel-Palestine analogy in there, which, if you haven't seen that movie, you should. and everybody in the comment section was like, no, this is a good movie. You're wrong. You're just in bed with Israel. Like, the audiences are starting to turn. Now, some of the right-wing audience is actually anti-Semitic, so it goes without saying that they would be against Israel, but it also has to do with just these images, horrible images of the starvation that they're putting these children through. And
I know
the report the other week of soldiers playing games. One of the doctors in Gaza was like, yeah, you can tell one day they're choosing to shoot for the head, one day they're choosing to shoot for the legs, one day they're choosing to shoot for the stomach. Like, it's a game to these soldiers.
Jesus Christ.
Like, and then these soldiers are putting out Instagram posts and TikToks of like playing with dead kids like toys and stuff. Like, it is the sickest, depravest stuff you've ever seen. I'm trying not to curse that much, but like, this is
let
Nazi
it fly. It's on my channel. Trust me. I had a full-on meltdown about what happened in Texas and, you know, all the kids that died there. But
so tragic.
Yeah, I mean,
and preventable.
The fact that people are still trying to spin this as, you know, oh well, Israel's the victim here. They were victimized. That nobody in their right mind would say what happened, you know, on October 7th was justified or legitimate, or, you know, that they deserve that. No, innocent people never deserve. Like, you want to take issue with the government, you want to attack the government, you want to attack the people who are oppressing you, you go for it. But innocent people should be off limits. And now they are the oppressors, you know, again, saying, no, we just want to get rid of these people. We just want them out of here at, you know, in any way, shape, or form. And if we have to starve them to death, if we have to shoot them, even children, even babies, blow them up, that's what we're going to do.
And they'll say, like,
and play the victim the whole freaking time. It's
oh,
like,
these
no,
people are taught when they're babies to hate us, so we have to kill. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, it's
logic.
so sick.
It's
It is
not
so
logic.
sick.
It's
I've said over and over, they have become the monsters that they used to warn about.
Yes.
You know, they've always said, oh, never again, never again. Yeah, it should be
but
never
unless
again.
we do it.
Yeah, exactly. With any human being.
Yeah.
Any human being. It doesn't matter the color of their skin, the religion they practice, whether they're gay or straight or, you know, transgender. It doesn't matter who you are. If you are a human being, like, the only people I say who are like, go for it, totally within bounds, child predators.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and animal abusers. Those are my two red lines. Like, okay, have at them.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
I'm half white, half black, half Christian, half Jewish. My white Jewish mother is always taught. She's very old. Okay. Born or when World War II was still happening.
Wow.
So very and she has always expressed discomfort with the idea of Israel existence. Her father ran from the pogroms in Russia before the Holocaust in Germany, and, you know, was just like, dude, any kind of ethno state is no good. I remember in high school, they tried to convince me, one of my friends at school, a fellow Jew, was like, hey, I'm going on this birthright trip to Israel. You should come. It's sponsored by the school. It's free. It's all cool. And I'm like, I didn't know anything about politics in high school. I did not start paying attention until 2012. But just the idea of, oh, this is in the Middle East. You mean where we're waging two wars? Everybody around that country hates that country. I wouldn't feel safe there. And then come to find out years later, watching a little bit of H3H3, that what they do is bring you there. You have a military escort, usually of the opposite sex, so that you kind of get attracted. It's almost like a honeypot situation. They want you to move to Israel. That is the goal of those birthright trips. It is very weird and culty.
That is very bizarre.
I'm glad I didn't go.
Wow. That's creepy.
Because
yeah,
as an American Jew, I have no like genetic cultural tie to that country. It's
Yeah.
not even been around that long, but they
Hmm.
just want to like manufacture this, like this is the home place of the Jews. It's the
Yeah.
safest place in the world. You got to come here. We need you. By the way, we need you to also join the IDF and become a settler and kick people out of their homes to take that.
Yeah.
That's what we really want you here for. But it's a fun
Yeah.
vacation. Come on.
Yeah.
It's so creepy and weird.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if other cultures did that,
Yeah,
like how
right?
people would react. I mean, I'm of Italian heritage. Imagine if in the United States they were like, "Oh, you can't say anything negative about, Italy
Yeah.
and their right-wing government if they were committing a genocide because, all of the Italians in America are going to be angry and they're going to feel targeted and they're going to feel like, they're being hunted." And it's like, what? Like, in no other country would this make
Yeah.
sense.
No, I
But for
remember
some reason, it's like, oh, it's Israel. They get a pass. They get to do whatever the hell they want. They get to go bomb as many people as they want and then look to the US to back them up,
yeah,
you
very
know?
much so. Very much little brother starting crap on the playground. And
Yeah.
then
I've
when
I've
they
told
get
this.
outnumbered, oh, they run to Big Bro. And Big
Yeah.
Bro's like, what? What did you do?
Yeah.
Now I got to fight all these people for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've told this story before on my show, but I have a friend. We have been friends since first grade, and she would like to talk shit. She was like had a big mouth sometimes, and she would start shit with people. And then she would come running to me. So and so wants to beat me up. They told me to wait. We're going to meet up after school. Will you stay with me? And it was like, all right, I'll stay with you. It was like, why don't you just stop talking shit to people? Like,
And if one of
how,
those days you were like, you know what? No, I got stuff to do after school. That's your problem. They might have stopped starting shit.
yeah, yeah. But then again, I was in that mode of like, okay, yeah, let's
Yeah,
go,
because I'm ready to
let's
fight. Yeah,
like
yeah,
looking for that fight. So like, all right,
yeah.
it's a good excuse.
But yeah, no, Israel's Israel's doing a genocide and they need to fucking stop. And they need to
Yeah,
be, Netanyahu and the whole government needs to be tried at The Hague and imprisoned.
yeah,
I'm abolitionist as well. I don't believe in carceral reform, but oh my God, some people do need to go to jail. And
yeah,
I think, child predators, animal abusers, genociders, safely say they can go to
yeah,
jail for the rest of their lives and nobody's going to
yeah.
miss them.
Yeah, I mean that's probably where I differ the most in the progressive movement is I do believe like you commit a crime, you need to be punished, and you need and there needs to be like
Well,
serious
I look
consequences,
at
and you
things
need to
like
be
the Netherlands and Sweden, I think,
uh-huh.
has like they have jails, but the jails are really rehab centers and really
Mm,
do give you therapy
yeah.
and you get to go outside and you have kind of an
Mm-hmm.
apartment instead of a cell, and it's a better environment to heal someone who needs that healing. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of most crime is financial driven. You don't have enough
Yeah.
money to feed your family, you don't have enough money to live, you got to rob. Maybe that leads to killing somebody, but regardless, you can most criminals can be reformed, and if given opportunities to change, they can and will. And so something like that I think would be great to bring here. And
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
people
I
who
would
just
be all
can't be
for that.
redeemed and need to stay there for longer.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it too, and you'll get some people who just aren't aware of any of this, but because of my background as a health coach, and I've been, certified in integrative nutrition, and I just have decades and decades of research behind what I'm saying. I also believe a lot of it has to do with a lot of the toxins that we have here in our air, in our water, in our
Yeah.
food. A lot of it is driven by changes to gut microbiome, which literally cause depression in a lot
Mm.
of cases. They've shown this. Like you can take the gut microbiome of a healthy thin person, transplant it, and then they'll do it through a fecal transplant, which is
Oh,
exactly what it sounds like. So
I saw a
gross.
South Park episode about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they'll transplant it, and the overweight person will get healthy and lose weight, and and they become like happy, you know.
Yeah.
So there's science. It's science based, and for
Yeah.
this is one of my big issues with the Democratic Party is like they'll go trust the science, but then they don't know the science.
Yeah.
And then they're only trusting like the people they hear on MSNBC or CNN.
And they cede ground to
And
people like RFK, who was like, "Well, I'm all for healthy living. Let's make America healthy again by ending vaccines."
yeah,
And
I mean,
weird,
and that's
kooky
the thing.
stuff.
It's like you have to have the right messenger
Yeah.
for because some of his ideas I do agree with. Some of the things that he believes in I know are true
Mhm.
based on my own research, based on, what I've been involved with. Other things, yeah, I think the guy's nuts and obviously very cruel and, crazy shit that he's done. And obviously a lot of drugs came
Yeah.
into play. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different factors,
Yeah.
like you said, it's the financial issue, it's that they have safety nets, in those countries. They do try to help them with their mental health, which we don't do. We just
Yes.
penalize people.
That's it.
y-
If
You
we
know,
had free
people,
healthcare, including mental, I think it would dramatically change a lot of people's lives in this country.
yeah.
Um, and the food situation, because we have food deserts. It is
Hmm.
cheaper to get fast food than it is to get healthy food, just by
Yeah.
virtue of that. And then the toxins, like you're saying, if you're only eating a lot of fast food, a lot of unhealthy food, it's
Yeah.
going to make you feel sluggish. It's going to increase your depression. You're going to gain weight, and then that's just going to be a cycle.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah. It does. It
I'm
becomes a
working on
vicious
it
cycle.
myself. I'm working on it myself.
Yeah. 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 I mean, people
And even
don't
there was a
realize
study
like,
about boomers consuming a lot of like lead because of
mm,
lead paint and like pipes,
yeah.
and that caused them to go
Yeah,
nuts.
even the baby cribs. I mean, when
Yeah,
they were kids, the cribs, the paint was lead paint. And
yeah.
so, kids were picking the paint off and consuming it. And so, yeah.
And you can
But what
see
a lot of people don't know is 70% of our serotonin, which is our happy hormone, is in our gut. It's not in our brain. It
I
is
did not know that.
created in our gut. So when you have an unhealthy gut, 70% of your happiness is going to be suppressed.
Wow.
Like it's no wonder, and then they put people on these SSRIs, and I'm not saying like nobody ever needs them and they're not a lifeline for some people, but all it does is create a dependence on that. And what happens is your body stops creating, stops naturally pumping out serotonin and other, happy hormones because your body is tricked into thinking, oh, we have enough.
Yeah, we have enough because we're taking
Yeah.
these pills.
And
Right.
so, yeah, that's why you see a lot of people, they get on these antidepressants and they have to keep increasing the dosage and increasing the dosage. It's like any other, drug.
Yeah.
It is a drug. And we have just become so accustomed in this country to reach for a pill bottle, go in for surgery, take this cure or that, or not even a cure, but take this potion, that
Yeah.
pill, and trust the doctors. And I'm not saying like, oh, doctors are just evil and
No.
they know and they're just tricking you. No, I'm saying the pharmaceutical companies are evil. And if you look back in history and who set up the medical system, the medical training system, it was all the titans of industry who owned stock in pharmaceutical companies. So what did they want to do? They wanted to train the doctors. Here's how you prescribe more medication to
Yeah.
make me more
Wow.
money.
Interesting.
So, of course, they stopped with anything natural. They didn't want people to be cured. They just want people hooked on whatever they have.
I want them to keep buying Band-Aids.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
And
Because I
and
know
like
they go to I've been in therapy most of my life, stopped going a couple years ago because just from personal reasons. But I'd ask them, they'd recommend like a new pill to me or a new drug. And they're like, yeah, I went to a convention. They were pushing this new thing.
hmm
It seems to work. So you want to try it? And it really, you could see that it's like, it's a mill almost.
yeah,
Now I had very good doctors who were like, would tell me all the side effects, tell me, yes, this is very popular right now. I don't recommend it for you because of
hmm
your particular situation. But a lot of more unscrupulous doctors are just like, oh, I'll get money if I prescribe a certain amount to
right.
people, then sure, I'm just going to
Yeah.
prescribe this. I'm going to get my
Yeah, and of
money.
course you have to do your regular check-ins with them. They
Yeah.
have to have you come back on a regular basis so they can see you to make sure that it's working and you're not having a bad reaction. So yeah, it's repeat business. And again, I don't think all of these doctors are just evil, but I've had the good fortune of working with doctors who recognized that, you know what, I'm not actually curing anyone. I'm not actually really helping patients, and that's what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so they went out and sought out the answers on their own and realized, oh my God, I've been sold a load of BS. And so they started doing research on their own, looking at medical studies, scientific studies, and went, shit, like I have this so backwards. Like I'm like you said, giving out these band-aids instead of actually curing people.
Yeah, and some of these
So
doctors have been lied to. Like there's
yeah.
a series, I think it's called Painkiller. It's about the opioid epidemic and how that started with Purdue and whatnot, and
Uh-huh.
how these doctors were told this is non-addictive,
Yeah.
and they straight up just lied to doctors.
Yeah.
So these doctors were like, all right, this is a painkiller, it's not addictive, I could prescribe this, my patients are saying it's helping, so I feel good. And then down the line they start wanting more and more, or they
Yeah.
get addicted to heroin, and it just goes off the rails. And
Yeah.
these, what was that family? The Sackler family? They just
Mm-hmm.
right off into the sunset.
Oh
No
yeah.
liability. We're going to
Yep.
be anonymous now,
Yep.
and just
Freaking
sit on
scumbags.
their hordes and hordes of money.
Yep. How many lives, how many families they've
Yeah.
destroyed.
There's also a series on Netflix called The House of Usher. It's a horror
Mm-hmm.
series, but it's pretty much based on the Sackler family.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's
Ah.
very Edgar Allan Poe. Uh, due to the title, it's
Uh-huh.
fantastic. It's like 10 episodes. Great show.
Yeah.
But it is a horror story, and it makes sense for it to be a horror story because that was a horror story. A
Yeah.
family just created a drug and
Mm-hmm.
then just sold it, and it just became pervasive, much the way I think like Elon Musk, I'm going to make a self-driving car. Are you going to
Mm-hmm.
test it? Yes, on public streets. And
Yeah.
cities will just let me do this for some reason because they're paying me, I guess. I don't know. And
Mm-hmm.
now these cars are killing people,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
burn hot. And like a family friend of ours was killed by a Tesla, not a self-driving Tesla,
Hmm.
but it burned so hot it melted the road.
Oh my God.
Like it's insane. And it was,
Yeah.
just the
Just like
fact that
AI. I mean, I
yeah,
think AI
yes,
is so dangerous. I mean, the way it can be used to trick people, to start wars,
oh
to
yeah,
riot, to murder each other. I mean, we just don't even have any idea all the nefarious ways that it's going to be used in the future. That's probably already, it's already being used
yeah,
for nefarious purposes. And I mean, beyond just the destruction of the labor force and, it, it just, it's going to do so much damage. And, speaking of Andrew Schulz, I'm sure you saw this part of the interview he did with Sagar of Breaking Points. He was saying, like, JD, because Sagar asked him about JD Vance. Do you think he has a future? Do you think he's the future of MAGA? And Schultz rightfully pointed out, like, he has an issue here because, he comes from Appalachia, comes from this poor area that really got hit hard by outsourcing.
Mm-hmm.
And now he is in bed with all of these AI people, all of these tech giants who are trying to do the same thing, essentially, outsourcing it to robots, to, artificial intelligence. So how is he going to explain that?
I mean, JD
And-
already sold his people out when he wrote that book, Hillbilly Elegy, basically being like, well, I got out. Their problem is they don't try and they don't want to leave hard enough. And I got out because I really tried and I felt ashamed at Harvard being around all these smart people. And I'm just a poor guy from Appalachia. But that whole book is really just shitting on his town where he came from. And, and I think really what happened with him was like he wrote this book, got turned into a movie that got nominated for Oscars. He could have been in that like Hollywood world. I think he couldn't write another book and just had no ideas. And so they were like, all right, I'm going to pull back from you. And then he went right wing because he's like, well, there's money over there. And there's people, bringing him over there, Peter Thiel, David Sachs, people like that. And got in bed with all these AI companies. I also just don't think he has the juice. He doesn't have any charisma.
No.
I remember you, and I know you remember this. We were all very worried about Ron DeSantis. He's the future. He's making all these changes in Florida. When that primary started and Vivek Ramaswamy was hitting him hard, everybody was hitting him from different directions. He could not stand.
Yeah.
And it just became a meme. He got laughed out of the primary, went back to Florida. Now, you might have a shot when Trump is 6 feet under, but I don't see him coming back from that.
No.
And I don't see JD being the next guy up either. I think it's going to be a civil war amongst the Republicans when Trump is out of here.
Yeah, I really don't see anybody as like the natural heir to the Trump throne.
Not even the kids.
No, I was going to say that too. Like Don Jr. doesn't have the charisma and the personality for that. I mean,
cocaine does not make charisma.
Yeah. I mean, he's just like, like in his podcast. I mean, the guy just looks like, wow, okay, guy, like pull back a little bit.
No, if they wanted to really make a
maybe
big brain
one
move,
line instead of two.
Ivanka, that would be a big brain move
Oh
because
my
she
God,
seems more rational, right? She's been out of the spotlight for a while. People forget easily, so she can come right back. Oh, I'm the softer conservative. I'm the nice conservative. I'm like Sarah Palin, but chiller.
I mean,
I don't think so.
Because I think about what I don't know if you've read Michael Cohen's books.
No.
But he talks a lot. I only read the first one, but he talked a lot about the kids in the book. And he was saying out of all of them, Don Jr. is actually the smartest. Like he said,
really?
he maybe, acts dumb now and says some stupid shit, but he said he's actually a pretty smart guy. And he was actually very much against his father. Like Don Jr. had a full-on, feud with his dad years ago. Took off, didn't want to be any part of his world. He was actually very progressive in his thinking. And this was verified not only by Michael Cohen, but also a woman that he was having an affair with when he was married. And they were both talking about it on Michael Cohen's podcast one day and saying, he was like very much like a typical progressive, like wanted to help the poor and give social services to people. And then his dad basically like cracked the whip and threatened him and said like, you're going to get cut off. Because he literally left New York, took off, went off on his own. And his dad was like, you got to come back or you're going to get cut off. And so for the money, he sucked it up. Came back crawling on his hands and knees.
I had never heard that.
Yeah.
I always figured that Junior was someone who like never got attention from Donald. Yeah, would maybe get angry and leave, but would
Mhm.
always come back because he wants that approval, much like Donald wanted approval from, was it
Yeah,
Frank,
yeah.
his dad? So that's how I read it, but I didn't know that he left. It was like, no, I'm done. And then
Yeah, no,
eventually
he was
was
gonna like go out
dragged
on his
back.
own, and then I guess it just was the money was too good, so he came back. So yeah, but Ivanka, the way Michael Cohen tells it, Ivanka is actually what you see of her like on the stage and when you see her in media appearances. And I've heard this not just from him, but other people too. She doesn't act that way. She doesn't talk that way. Like the way she's always
Yeah.
so quiet and so measured
So
and
demure.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like I think it was Omarosa. You remember her?
Yeah.
So Omarosa said it, Michael Cohen said it, that yeah, this is like such an act. Like she does not act and talk like that in real life. So I don't know that she could do that. I don't know if she could hold up that
Yeah.
persona.
Again, this
And
is if the Republicans wanted to still get people who love Trump, or at least the Trump
mhm,
name, but wanted to appeal more broadly and be like, we're gonna cut off all the crazy stuff, and
mhm,
here's Ivanka. She's nice. She's put together.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but I don't know if they're ever even going to do that anymore. Try and pull back. Like Nikki Haley tried that
Yeah.
in the primary, and it was like
Oh yeah. I
laughed out
mean,
of there quick.
yeah,
You know,
that wing of the Republican Party is just dead. It's
yeah,
just
I think
gone.
so.
What
They're mostly joining the Democratic Party, and we got to get them out of there too. Like I don't
yeah.
want Bill Kristol over here.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said this several times. When you go to visit someone's house, you don't walk in and start rearranging the furniture.
Yes.
You don't go like, yeah, you got a nice house here, but you know how it would look better?
Yeah.
You know what it would be? I think this would be an improvement. And that's kind of what I feel like that the never Trumper wing of the Republican Party is trying to do.
Yes.
And it's
Very
like,
much. That's a great
no, like, no,
no. We'll
and
you in, and you can vote for our candidates, but you're not going to tell us who we're going to put up or how we're going
yeah.
to run shit.
Unfortunately, as you know, we have too many establishment Democrats who are willing to go along with that, who are almost kind of on the cusp of being a centrist Republican,
Oh yeah.
And so, unfortunately, yeah, they're willing to align with them over progressives,
Yeah,
which
I
is like,
think this, fingers crossed, knocking wood, that Zoran wins in
mm-hmm,
November, and we're seeing candidates pop up. There's Omar Fatah, who
uh-huh,
just won the Minnesota primary, I think, for mayor, or actually won mayor. I don't know exactly, but
yeah, I
there's
don't
more.
remember.
There's Kat Abugazala in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
There's other candidates popping
Yeah,
up
what's the one
around.
in Arizona that
Yeah,
everybody's been talking
I
about?
don't remember. But I'm hoping this is a new iteration of that 2016 Bernie moment, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not centered around one guy. Yes, Bernie's out there doing the oligarchy
Yeah.
rallies, and we're happy that he's doing that. But the fact that they're promoting all these other candidates, that all these other candidates are running and winning,
Mm-hmm.
I think people are sick of it.
Yeah.
And it goes into, like Andrew Schultz was saying, he was into Bernie. He's like, I think the
Mm-hmm.
only person right now who's truly America first is Zoran. He
Yeah.
said that
Yeah.
because, I might not agree with
Yeah.
all his
No, he
policies, but at
said
least he's
the
thinking about New York.
Democratic Socialist Party. He didn't even
Yeah.
just specify Zoran.
Yeah.
He said the party that,
And that's that frustration that people had in 2016 when it was Bernie and Trump were getting the most play. And it was
mm-hmm.
because people don't want Hillary Clinton. We
Yeah.
don't want to be force-fed candidates
Yeah.
that you guys pre-selected that we knew were going to run already,
Right.
like Hillary or like Cory Booker or like
Mm-hmm.
Kamala or Joe Biden, or on the Republican side, you had Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get rid of that wing. So, okay,
Yeah.
we got DeSantis and we got Marco Rubio. We got,
Yeah.
They don't want that. They want someone like Trump or Bernie who's going to come out and be like, no, all you guys are corrupt. I can tell you how y'all are corrupt, and vote for me, and I'm going to help the working people. Now, Trump obviously is lying, but Bernie, you know, and people like that kind of rhetoric, that kind of like, yeah, screw these two parties.
Yeah.
Vote for me. I'm running on this party, but it doesn't matter because the people in charge don't like me anyway. We like the underdogs in this country.
It's like the most basic form of gaslighting that both parties have participated in, but now more so the Democrats. You know, it's like people are going, no, we're hurting. Like people out here are hurting. They can't afford rent. They can't afford groceries. They're struggling. They're, you know, cutting back on food because they can't afford it. They're, you know, they can't find jobs that pay them enough to live. So they have multiple jobs. And the Democratic establishment is going, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
You just don't understand. You're actually fine.
Yeah,
Everything's great.
great.
And people are like, what are you talking about? It's like, we're telling you we're not fine. It's not okay. And you're telling me it's my imagination? It's like, of course people are going to go, shut the fuck up. I don't trust you anymore. And I'm going to go with someone who's whispering in my ear telling me what I want to hear.
Yeah, at least.
No matter who that is,
at least,
unfortunately.
Yeah, Trump and Bernie were the ones going, no, this system is messed up. The system is messed up. Now, of course, Trump falls right back into all the lies that he needs to tell. But
he is the establishment.
But that, yes, very much so. And they built Trump. Like, that is one of the most frustrating things, is that the Democrats won't just say the Republicans. They need to say MAGA extremists, all these qualifiers. No. Trump was a guy who, in the 80s at the RNC, they asked, when are you going to run for president? He is what the Republicans have been building. He's like a Frankenstein monster of their policies over the last 40 years. That's why they couldn't step to him during the 2016 primary, because he said, I'm rich. I'm richer than all you. I donate to all you. And that's their value system. So they had to be like, well, I guess he is better than all of them because he's rich. Because that's what they value.
Yeah. Yeah, sadly. I mean,
but again, there's hope. There's hope, folks, on the horizon. You know, Zohran, Kat Abugazala, Omar Fateh, more DSA candidates, more Working Families Party candidates are winning elections in spite of all the money spent against them.
Yeah.
Despite conventional wisdom, like this, the economy thing, conventional wisdom, the Democrats are just like, yeah, we'll just say the stock market's doing great, ergo the economy's doing great.
Right.
And they've been saying that to us since forever, but especially in 2008, we were like, what are you talking about? Like, it bounced back for y'all. But we are still feeling it. We're still feeling it now.
How many millions of Americans lost their homes over that whole thing?
And then they bailed out the
mortgage
banks.
collapse.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and it's so funny how now they change their position on that, because, you know, back then they were, the stock market's doing great, so everybody must be doing good. Now that the stock market is doing excellent under Trump, but the economy is clearly flailing, Democrats now change their, the establishment Democrats change their tune to, see, Trump is screwing up the economy. Yes, he is. And look at how disconnected the stock market is. Right.
And that's why people don't trust
them. One has nothing to do with the other.
They don't trust them because, even with the immigration stuff, we're yelling and screaming about kids in cages under Trump. And then Biden gets in, silence for 4 years. And then Trump's back. Immigration, this is a big issue again. Where were you? Where were you the last 4 years? What were you saying? Like, they were just doing all this cover for Biden, and it was so blatant. I mean, they're doing an investigation about the cover up of his mental decline. First of all, if you've seen Trump's speech yesterday, he's in the midst of a mental decline.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's totally. I mean, I think the investigation obviously is a distraction for Epstein, but
yeah.
the point they're making, like, yeah, that was a big cover up. Everybody was lying. Everyone who went on TV and said no, Biden's fine, he's doing great, was lying, including Kamala, including a lot of these establishment people in the media or people in the government, and people could see it. Like that's the biggest thing to me is the social media. Like we can see that he's not doing well.
Like the gaslighting.
You can tell me all you want.
Like I said, you're telling me don't believe my eyes and ears.
Don't believe your lying eyes.
Are you freaking kidding me? Like, yeah. It's like that song. It wasn't me.
Yeah. Oh, I love Shaggy. But I think there's a new wave coming. There's rising global fascism, and to counteract that, even I don't even think consciously, I think unconsciously, people are just like, no, we need whoever's talking about fighting the fascists, we're going to vote for them. And the establishment isn't doing that. The establishment is like, well, we can work together, or we'll change the name of the bill like Chuck Schumer did, or Eric Adams saying, oh, we're going to let ICE run rampant in the city. Cuomo said it too. ICE is going to do what they do. But Zohran's out here like, no, we're not going to let that happen if you vote for me. And everybody voted for him.
Though, is I don't know how much a mayor can really do, because look at Karen Bass here in California.
Yeah, I don't know either.
There's not much. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, okay, you go out there and you try to stop them and you end up getting arrested. And so then what? Like nobody else wants to step up because they don't want to end up in jail too. I mean, I just don't know that there's much that mayors can really do to stop this.
I'll say this. When it comes to governing in any capacity, it seems that the Democrats always kind of throw their hands up and go, we can't do this because procedural rules and whatever. And then Republicans get in charge and they just find any loophole they can use.
Yeah.
Or steamroll and just like, sue me later. I'm doing it.
Right.
I think Democrats need to take some of that energy. Screw it.
Absolutely.
I'm canceling student debt. What?
Absolutely.
Sue me later. What? I'm doing it. Because then you do it, you cancel that debt, everyone loves you for it.
Right.
And then when the courts try to reverse it, you got protests. You got people being like, no, we need this. Just like the ACA.
It's kind of like the ACA. It's like Obamacare.
Everybody
was against it. And then when they realized, oh, you mean I can still get coverage and it doesn't cost me a fortune if I have pre-existing conditions? Hell yes, I like this. I want to keep it. Try taking it away from me. You pry it out of my cold, dead hands.
Yeah, you're going to get primaried and you're going to get protested and then you're going to show up at town halls and scream at you. Like, give people material change and they will fight to keep it. And is why Democrats and the Republicans don't want to give it to us.
Democrats are like people who make excuses for not wanting to make life change. I've always said, if somebody really wants to do something, they will find a way to make it happen. If somebody doesn't want to do something, they will find an excuse why they can't do it. And that is the sum total of the Democratic Party. They're like, oh, yeah, we really wanted to do this for you guys, but gosh, golly darn it. We got thwarted again by the parliamentarian, that unelected bureaucrat who we could fire just like Donald Trump did.
Right, exactly. Meanwhile, Donald Trump tries to pass
these
a bill.
Mean old Republicans. Gosh darn it, they won't let us do it.
They fired his ass right quick. The first hint to me that I was super excited Biden won, not because I love Biden, but because Trump was gone in 2020. But the moment that I knew the presidency was going to let me down was they were promising, like, there was the Georgia special election, and those candidates, Ossoff and Warnock, I think, were saying you're going to get the $2,000 check. And you already got 600, but we're going to send you another 2,000 if Biden wins. And Biden won, and they sent out $1,400 saying, well, you already got the 600, so you got 2,000. And I was like, oh, guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is not just send out to like, how hard is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the moment I was like, this is not going to go well. This is going to be another 4 years of like wishing we got Bernie.
Yeah, that's the thing. They nibble around the edges. They give just enough to keep people appeased, and so there isn't any major uprising. And I think, yeah, this second election of Trump and the way things are going right now, I think even just your average run-of-the-mill MSNBC Democrat is going, "What the fuck, Democrats? Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna go write another strongly worded letter?
Yeah.
You're all these Democrats voting not to impeach Donald Trump. Like, are you freaking kidding me?"
Yeah.
So yeah,
crazy.
it's no wonder the Democrats have such an abysmal polling record right now. I mean, their polling numbers are just in the dirt.
Meanwhile, people like Zohran's polling numbers are way through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
And
won
what
by double
Democrats don't
digits.
get
Great.
is he pulled a hell of a lot of Trump voters over.
Yeah.
And what they're going to see, which is not reflected in the numbers from the primary yet, and I was reading some articles about this, I'm going to do a show on it. There are a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump, but because they're registered as Republicans, the way the voting works in New York, they couldn't vote for Zohran in the primary because they're a registered Republican, but they're all saying, I and my entire family are going to vote for him in the general. So I think the numbers we saw him put up in the primary are going to be eclipsed by the numbers in the general. And he already got the most of any primary candidate in history.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
I think the Democratic establishment is just going to be floored when the general happens.
And what's ironic is this is what they've been saying for not even just since the election, but since, Biden won and they've had time to recoup and think about strategy. They're thinking their biggest concerns are, how do we get Trump voters? How do we get the white middle class, or, there is no middle class, but the white suburban voters? How do we get younger voters? And Zohran hit
Especially
all
men.
three, and they're like, yeah, but not like that though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the real thing is follow Zohran. Follow that plan.
Yeah.
That's
And then of
the
course
plan.
their excuses, oh, well, it's New York.
Yeah.
So it's different. You had people who voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Like, what more proof do you need? Yes, it's a blue state. Yes, it's very progressive. But these are people who voted for Donald Trump, and you're saying these are the people you want to win back. And then you're going, but I don't want to win them back that way.
Yes, exactly.
Because you know why? Because then I might have to give up some donor money.
Yeah.
Because then I might have to actually, not get paid off by APAC.
Yeah.
And
Or I'm a
the
consultant
Israel
and I'm gonna
lobby.
lose my job because I'm not gonna be able to lobby for the things I lobby for in this party, in this environment. I might have to go to the Republican Party, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, they're in a bit of a sticky wicket.
They're in the thick of it right now. They're going through it. But
They
hopefully, we'll pull them back. We'll pull them back when the progressives win.
Yeah. Well, this
get
was
in
fun,
line.
Alex. I know, we're only planning on maybe like a half hour, but we ran quite a bit over.
Well, you're a lot of
But
fun to talk to, so that was easy.
Yeah, you too. No, this was a lot of fun. We'll have to do it again. So, but everybody watching, please go check out Alex's channel. Again, Devil's Advocate Productions on YouTube and on Twitch. I will put the links below.
Look for the symbol. If you see the symbol, it's me.
Okay, cool. And then on social media, where are you? Where can people find you?
It's called Devil's Advocate C, the letter C, on Twitter and YouTube and Blue Sky. This was a lot of fun.
You're very welcome. Yeah.
I loved having you on the election stream. We're gonna do another one in November for the actual mayoral election.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Fingers crossed, knock on wood, Zohran wins, but this space is where it's happening, folks.
Yeah,
Lots of cool stuff on
definitely. Head over, everybody, if you have not seen it. This Space TV on YouTube. It's taken off, and right now at 3 days a week, about 8-9 hours of content each of those days, and we're shooting for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yeah, we're going to be the new CNN.
New CNN, the new TYT, the new MSNBC. You're not going
Yeah.
to need a cable subscription, folks. Just YouTube.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to be the PNN, the Progressive News Network.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You down with PNN?
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah. Yeah, you know me. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Alex. You have a great day, and
You
we
too.
will talk again soon.
Thank you so much.